Good evening, everybody. It is Sunday. Just driving to work now. As I said in my last vlog, I do work nighttime hours. Sunday nights are my usual TV night. My favorite shows, Once Upon a Time and Revenge, come on ABC. And tonight's episode of Once Upon a Time was just absolutely mind-blowing. For those of you who are not familiar with the show Once Upon a Time, it is a show about our favorite fairy tale characters who are cursed from the enchanted forest where they live to this town called Storybrooke, which is in Maine. It's a small, tiny little town. So Storybook, you kind of get the whole drift there. And one of the things that I like about the TV show, forgive me if you haven't seen it before, I'm not going to try to give out too many spoilers for it, but one of my favorite things about the TV show is that they're not exactly like the Disney fairy tale characters like Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, those heroines, and the princesses, they have their flaws. They're not absolutely perfect people, then they do make their mistakes in the show. And I think that makes them a little bit more relatable and human to me. And of course the show does their little twists on characters, and they have little, twist plots and everything. So if you haven't ever watched the show, I highly recommend checking it out. You can catch it on Netflix. It has the first few seasons. I also have Hulu so that I can watch the current season of it. I was able to catch it tonight, but sometimes if I sleep in a little bit more, I end up just catching it on Hulu. Revenge, though, comes on at 10 o'clock when I have to leave for work, so that is one that I actually do have to catch up with on Hulu the following day. I just try to stay away from Twitter and social media because people like to live tweet the show. I won't lie, I live tweeted Once Upon a Time just a tad, so if like I said, if you are watching those shows and you haven't seen the episode yet, just avoid my Twitter and, yeah, avoid my Twitter. So, yeah, so that's one of my favorite TV shows. During the week, I typically watch NCIS. I like the original series the best. Not a huge fan of LA. New Orleans, I don't know. I have my doubts about that one. Nothing seems to be ever as good as the original. So, Mark Harmon, who's in the original NCIS, he plays Jethro Gibbs, and that one has to be by far my most favorite. The characters are just so likable. There's no way that you can absolutely hate them. I mean, Donoso, he gets kind of a little annoying once in a while, but that's just him, it just makes him very relatable. So, Abby, you cannot just you can't not like Abby. It's just, yeah. So that's another one of my favorite shows. The other one that I've recently gotten into that's new this season, it's on CBS, is Stalker. Very interesting show. It kind of makes me look over my shoulder a little bit. It's kind of creepy. Stalking, you would never really think about stalking at all. We kind of joke about it, haha, funny, but they actually pull actual statistics and actual real life, I mean, they're not real life stories, but things that can happen to you actually in real life. And it's very interesting. Social media makes it so much easier to stalk people. Don't get any ideas. I'm just kidding. I'm not really stalk worthy, but it's just, oh my gosh, it is so freaking creepy. But, it's just one of those things that it's so creepy, but, I'm still so intrigued that I can't stop watching it. So, yeah, so those are some of the current shows that I'm currently watching right now. If you haven't had a chance to check them out. They're great. And, heck, maybe we could talk about them sometime. So, anyway, I'm actually getting closer to work here, so I'm going to hop off here because there's a lot of turns involved, so I will catch up with you guys later. So, it's another slow night here at work. It's a Sunday night, and we are typically slower, so just kind of browsing on some Facebook and taking a little break here, watching some YouTube videos, and I was watching this video by Pano. I started following Pano on Twitter, and subscribed to his channel from when he was living with Will and RJ. And so I was watching some of his older videos because I just started watching them more recently, and I saw this one, and because the title intrigued me a little bit, and I'll explain why, but it was his followed by a homeless man, and yeah, that's Pano, and it reminded me so much of an awkward moment that I had with a homeless person myself. And as he said in his video, and I'll say here, it's very unfortunate that that somebody ends up in that situation. I know majority of the time it's not that person's fault. Unfortunately, things do happen in life, and you end up in those unfortunate situations. But I had a homeless guy when I lived in Orlando, in Florida, that approached me when I was walking with my friends in downtown Orlando. I was drunk at the time, so I was pretty tipsy, and this homeless guy came up to me and asked me if I had $1. And I'm not a person that typically carries cash on themselves. I have my debit and credit cards, and I said, I'm sorry, I don't have any cash on me that I can give you. And so I was going to continue walking past him, and this guy grabbed my arm, and at this point I'm shitting myself because I'm like, oh my god, he's going to murder me or hurt me or something, like I was freaking out, and I knew that because I was drunk that that my that I wasn't going to have like the reactionary time that I needed. And then he grabbed me into a hug, and I was like, okay, have a nice night. Like, I didn't know how to react because I was just absolutely shocked. I think, I think he saw like the fear in my eyes. Like, I was just, I was like completely scared because I didn't know what was going to happen. So, yeah, that his whole situation here just reminded me so much of my situation just a little bit. So luckily this homeless guy did not follow me, but poor Pano, as you can see, he was followed himself. All right, so that wraps up another day at work. It was so much fun. I can't wait for daylight savings time to happen so that I'm not driving home in the complete dark, because I feel like I go to work in the dark and I come home in the dark. I don't see too much daylight. So yep, just on my way to go pick up my mom from work, and then I'm gonna go home. We're gonna work on her resume because I guess it's supposed to be submitted. They're posting the job position she wants to apply for today, so we gotta write her cover letter. Well, finish writing her cover letter. I already wrote that. That kind of like leads me into one of my my little rant about cover letters. So I was talking with a friend of mine last night about having to write the cover letter, and his question was, well, what's the point of a cover letter? And like, I was just a little appalled with this friend. I'm not going to mention any names, but I was a little bit appalled because like, this person is so professional that I would just think that they would know better about this sort of thing. So like, his whole argument was, well, everything that I would put in my cover letter is on my resume. And I said, well, the point is that your resume does not, it lists your qualifications for the job, but your cover letter is a way for you to make those things connect. And like, that's the whole point of the cover letter. But the other point of your cover letter is to also explain, things that you can't really explain in your resume, such as like, my mom was a stay-at-home mom. She stayed home with me and my sister Dusty, and that's not something you can really put in your resume. Like, what are you gonna put it in as? Like, oh, I was a stay-at-home mother. Like, I cooked and I cleaned. I changed diapers. Like, no, you're not gonna put that in your resume. So, like, that's something that I was able to word in and phrase in with her cover letter between her current job and her previous one, was that she was a stay-at-home mom. I mean, she did participate like in my preschool co-op and in other things. She helped out my dad with his business a little bit on the side, but like that's not something you would put in your resume. So the cover letter just helps make you a little bit more relatable to the position. You can just say you were looking for this and this. Well, I qualify because I can do this and this. So Like, that's like the whole point of a cover letter. And like, you don't have to put a cover letter with your resume. I highly suggest it. It's not going to be something that hurts you unless you're horrible with spelling, grammar, and parallel structure. Those things could hurt you, I suppose. But I mean, like, but those things should also be in your resume as well. So, like I said, this is my little rant about it, because there's nothing that can you, like, it'll just improve your chances of getting the position. And like, it's better to have one than not one at all. Like, that is, your cover letter is one thing that can set you apart from all of these other people who are applying for the job. And then, like, one of the other things is, like, when you are applying for jobs, like, if you're sending your resume in via email, like, put something in the email. Like, I was checking some of, like, my emails one time when I posted a job position at a previous hotel that I worked at, and, like, I would, of course, you know, post the ad on Craigslist. I know, like, not the greatest place to recruit good quality candidates, but it's the cheapest. And I would have people who would apply for the positions, and all I would get was a blank email with an attachment. Like, no cover letter, no nothing. Like, that's great, but, like, like, introduce yourself. Like, I don't know who you are. Make me want to respond to you. Like, it is so easy for me to move that email to the delete, you know, to my deleted bin, than anything. And it just amazes me that, like, you know, you want a job, like, you are seeking for a position with a company, and you're not willing to put in any effort to try to get this job. Like, I don't know if it's because you think that you're probably not qualified, so you just, like, don't put any effort into it. But, like, companies are not looking for somebody who are, you know, that's looking to collect, like, a paycheck. They're looking for somebody who wants to put forth a good conscious effort into being employed here. And if you're not going to do that, then you're not going to get hired. And anyway, so I'm going to step off my soapbox about that, but, like, that's just my rant about resumes and cover letters and applying for positions. And one of the other things that could probably help you out as well, if you are applying for a position, don't just put any on your application. Find out what the place is hiring for, and put whatever they're hiring for. Like, if you want to work at a grocery store, do you want to stock things, or do you want to work at a cash register? It's better to specify what you want to do, because as somebody who has had to hire before, anytime somebody puts any in their application, I'm like, okay, so I'm looking at their previous positions, and I'm like, well, I don't really know what this person is interested in. Would they like working in, like, housekeeping? Would they like working at front desk? Like, I don't know. And I won't contact those people, because I'm not going to call them in for an interview for just anything. Like, I want them to know what they want to do, and I'm not going to make that decision for them. That's just bottom line. So anyway, I hope that maybe, you know, anybody who watches this video could take some of my advice. I'm not an expert. I'm not a human resources expert. I didn't go to school for human resources, but I am sharing this as somebody who has actually hired for things before. There are a lot of people like me out there who are in these positions where they hire and terminate people, you know, team members and employees. And there's a lot of me like that out there, and you need to be able to appeal to that. And if you do get turned down, ask for feedback. Like, what is there that I can do to better my chances next time? Because it could just be that they had better, more suitable candidates for the position that time. It's not necessarily that you did anything wrong. If there was something that you did wrong, such as, like, you seemed fairly nervous, you said a lot. That's, like, one of my biggest things, as I say a lot. Case in point, those are things that you can use to improve. And for me, when somebody has asked me for feedback on why they didn't get a position, like, I take that as an opportunity to develop somebody. Again, it's like one of my habits, I'm trying to break myself from saying a lot. It was just pointed out to me recently by my boss's boss and my regional manager, and she she said that I say a lot, so I'm really working very hard at trying to break that habit. But anyways, I just want to give some like friendly advice. And yes, it is kind of a rant, but like giving some friendly advice, because I know that it's extremely hard right now to find some great jobs. Like, I know Michigan is still kind of recovering, on its road to recovery, economic wise, and it would, you know, I just want to help people out the best that I can. And I just, like, it pains me so much when I see things that people could do to better their chances, but like professionally, like, I just don't think that it's appropriate to say like, oh, well, you didn't have anything in the body of your email. If you're that serious about a job, maybe you should do that next time. Like, I just don't think that's absolutely right. So anyways, traffic's starting to pick up, so I'm gonna focus more on my driving, and I'll see you guys here in a little bit.